Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to the PTV World special transmission. We're at the Embassy of Iran. I'm TAYYABA NISAR Khan, and we have a very special guest with us today because we're talking about very important topics as well, especially about the friendship of Pakistan and Iran, which we're of course going to highlight throughout this show. We have been joined by the Ambassador of Iran, Mr. Sayyid Mohammad Hosseini. He's previously also been the spokesperson of Iran for the past about 2 years, and also he has served as the Deputy Foreign Minister in 2007 and 2008. We're very lucky and very honored to have him today with our show. Thank you so much for joining us and being here with us today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's talk about the first and the foremost relationship of Pakistan and Iran. Pakistan and Iran have a very brotherly relation with one another, very historical relation as well, very rich culture, which is very similar to one another as well. Let's talk about the diplomatic relation of the two countries. How important do you think is it to build the diplomatic relations in a way that it is more forwarded in the future and more furthered in the future as well?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. خیلی تشکر میکنم از جناب عالی.
Thank you very much for hosting me. As it has been mentioned by your good self, that the two countries enjoys a lot of commonalities and common bonds, cultural, historical, religious, and civilization bonds. And one of the most important bonds which exist between the two countries is the interest and liking of the people of the two countries to each other.
Right.
If we speak in terms of the official relationship, according to the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the neighboring countries have a special place in the Foreign Ministry of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And the current government is giving the special priority to the neighboring countries, and Pakistan as a neighboring and Islamic country enjoys a special place in our foreign relationship. And the fondness of the people of the two countries, the fondness which exists in the various sections of the two countries, is also another motive for boosting the relationship between the two countries in all areas, in political, in cultural, in economic, and the trade areas.
Ambassador, how do you see the future of the relationship, the bilateral relationship of Pakistan and the Islamic Republic of Iran? And what are the areas of collaboration that we could go upon, especially in terms of trade and economic cooperation? And not just that, but also people-to-people ties.
I see a bright perspective for the future of relation between the two countries in all the areas, especially in the trade area, and also the motive which exists, which I have mentioned to your good self, is also a motive for the boosting relationship in the economic area and also in the trade area between the two countries. And the economy of the two countries is not competitive to each other, rather they are the complementary to each other. Pakistan can fulfill a lot of requirements of Iran, and also Iran can fulfill the requirements of Pakistan, especially in the energy sector. We have taken very important steps in the area of economic cooperation between the two countries. Our trade before the COVID-19 pandemic was around $1.5 billion, and during the COVID-19 pandemic it decreased to $1.2 billion. But immediately after overcoming this pandemic, and due to the efforts which has been made by the officials of the two countries, in the 8 months the volume of the trade between the two countries has reached to $1.5 billion. During the 73 years of our relationship, we had only one crossing point between the two countries, but during 1.5 years, 2 new border crossing points has been opened up between the two countries, and also we are going to establish 6 border market in the bordering area of the two countries, and 3 of them are on the top priority, namely in the Peshinman area and also in the Ramadan Kabt area and also in the Kohok area. These steps not only boost the trade ties between the two countries, also they ensure the security at the borders and also they facilitate the transportation between the two countries. At the moment, we are exporting 104 megawatts of electricity to Pakistan, but after completion of a project which is going to be completed in the next month, our exports to the Pakistan will be doubled. One of the steps which has been taken between the two countries and one of the instruments which has been suggested by both of the countries is the barter trade between the two countries, and the Quetta Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Zahdan Chamber of Commerce and Industries. They are responsible to undertake and execute the barter trade between the two countries, and this is one of the most important steps which has been taken to promote the trade relationship between the two countries. The two countries are also taking the steps to promote the PTA between the two countries and also to move forward for a FTA between them. The Islamabad, Tehran, Istanbul train service has been launched in the last year between the three countries, and also it will facilitate transportation and also the trade between them. These are the steps which has been taken to deepen the trade relationship and economic ties between the two countries. And in the field of people-to-people contacts, we have facilitated the visa service for the people, for the tourists, and also for the pilgrims. And also there are the discussions to increase the number of flights between the two countries. Another step which can boost the contacts on the both sides is the introduction of the attractions, especially the tourist attractions between the two countries to people of the two countries, and also that can boost the bonds between them. And also we have to introduce the people of the two countries about the historical attractions and also the tourist attractions which exist between them.
Right, Ambassador, we have seen a rhetoric that is going on right now. The United States and the West is accusing Iran of conducting repressive policies and violence against the people who are protesting after the death of Mahsa Amini. And also Iran is accusing the United States and the allies of fanning the protests and the riots that are happening in the country domestically, and also accusing them of supporting not just that, but also financing those protests. Does Iran have any evidence to support this claim?
According to the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran, it's the right of the people to have the peaceful protest and the gatherings. And also, like the other countries, the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran enjoy this right, and if they have any objection or protest to any of the laws or the implementation of law, it's their undeniable right that they can hold the protest in the peaceful manner. And also the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran, like the other countries, enjoys this right according to the constitution of our country, and our people also execute their right to hold the peaceful gatherings and protests. So about the current developments and the internal developments of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the right of protest was given to the people, and some people also joined these peaceful protests in the initial stages. But when this peaceful protest converted into the chaos and disturbances, so the people also get away from these protests, and they separated their line from those who want to create the chaos in the country, and also they want to create destruction in our country. So that's why the people does not and did not support it to the elements who wanted to insult our national flag, which is a symbol of our unity and also our integrity.
Ambassador, there are certain allegations by the same channels and some other channels as well regarding the mass arrests in Iran as well, such as the mass arrest of the social media influencers, the footballer, and the Oscar-winning actress Ali Dosti as well. What is Iran's stance on these arrests?
Let us see that we do not arrest to the sportsmen and also the people who belongs to the arts, and they are the actors or actresses, because our judiciary does not allow to arrest these persons and individuals. But there is a media propaganda and also a campaign on that subject. And after these developments, a vast number of the people who were arrested during these unrest, they had been released, and 90% of them were released subsequently. In all the countries, the people have to respect the law. If someone violates the law and he belongs to any section of the society, he should be the responsible, and he has to answer on his violation. Even in Tehran or in the Islamabad, if someone violates the law, he is responsible and he has to give the answer regarding the violation he has made.
Right, Ambassador, let's take you back to the international front now, where we're going to talk about the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which was signed back in 2015, and then of course it was unilaterally decided by the previous administration of the United States to pull out from that. The United States is saying that Iran is no longer interested. The European Union's High Representative Joseph Borrell, he and the rest of the European countries, they also talked about how this was the only way to build better relations in terms of nuclear agreement with Iran. And also Iran, the foreign minister himself, Abdullahian, His Excellency Abdullahian, he also talked about how they were on the final stages of the JCPOA as well. Where does Iran stand currently on the nuclear agreement of the JCPOA that was back then signed in 2015? Is there a possibility of revival?
JCPOA was an agreement which was signed by Iran, United Nations, 3 European countries, and also representative of the European Union and the international community. So it was an international agreement, and Iran was one of the sides of that agreement, which was issued in the support of that agreement. And according to the official reports which were issued by the IAEA, and more than 15 reports which were filed by that organization, and they verified that the Islamic Republic of Iran has fulfilled 100% of its obligation according to that agreement. So this is a bright and the prestigious past and record of the Islamic Republic of Iran on the account of JCPOA. So the Islamic Republic of Iran has sincerely concluded the JCPOA first of all, and after the conclusion of that agreement, the Islamic Republic of Iran has fulfilled all its obligations under that agreement. But let us see that which side violated this agreement and which side withdrew from that agreement, and which side was threatening to the other countries to withdraw from that agreement and do not fulfill the obligations according to the JCPOA. And also that's which side that which is violating that agreement which was concluded by the international community. United States under the Trump government withdrew from JCPOA first of all, and Mr. Biden, the president, announced during his election campaigns that he will return to the JCPO and will revive that agreement. But we are now witnessing the last portion of the tenure of the President Biden, but still we are waiting that when he will return to that agreement. And the way to return to the JCPO is very clear and open for us.
Right. Ambassador, so many important and serious issues that we've talked about right now today as well, and so many other important and serious issues and accusations that we could have discussed as well, but maybe we can put that for later, for another day as well. But lastly, and very briefly, I do want to ask you, you've been here in Pakistan for the past 3 years. What is the best thing that you like about Pakistan? What city is the best? What do you like about that city? And how has your experience been in Pakistan very personally?
First of all, the diplomats, like any other person, wherever they go, first of all, it's important for them that they have the feeling of tranquility and comfortableness, and also they do not feel alienation in that atmosphere. And we feel the sincerity and cordiality and a feeling of tranquility and comfortableness in Pakistan. And also our families, they have the same feelings, and we do not have any sense of alienation in that society, and we have the sense that we are at home.
Very glad to hear that, Ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us for today's interview. Ladies and gentlemen, we just conducted an interview with Sayyid Mohammad Hosseini, the Ambassador of Islamic Republic of Iran to Pakistan, and we discussed very, very important and diverse topics, which of course includes the domestic situation, the regional front, and of course the international front as well, not just in terms of the JCPOA, which is the nuclear deal that had been going on for quite some time, but also the current situation where the United Nations took a decision, the ECOSOC took a decision to suspend Iran, and we wanted to hear their point of view as well. Thank you so much for joining us for this special episode. I'm TAYYABA signing off.